Hey. Um, Welcome to round 13 of the Scrabble Players Championship 2022. Round 14 has not been found. I can't find the score sheet associated with that game. I have a picture of the game. I know what the score was. Can probably figure out who played what, but until I find the score sheet, I won't be uploading the game or trying to record it because not really worth it. But I'm 7-5 at this point, and getting to play Seth Lipkin. Seth Lipkin is a very important member of the Scrabble community. He created the website that basically sorts through the ratings, the tournaments, the annotated games, everything, all the stats you want to know about North American Scrabble, called crosstables.com. At the moment, it's mostly compiled with NASPA stats, but I think since NASPA lost its agreement with what's the word I'm looking for? NASPA lost its agreement with Hasbro at some point during the pandemic to use the word Scrabble and to be the official sanctioner of Scrabble tournaments in North America. So at this point, NASPA is just about as reputed, just as, yeah, I'm just at a loss for words today, which is not good because I'm about to look over a Scrabble game. But yeah, so NASPA is not the only player on the field anymore. Wigpo, of course, the Word Cup that I covered previously to this tournament, had just as strong of a field, just as valid of stats and all that. So I think at some point Cross Tables is going to become more complete, but it's going to take a long time. Lots of bureaucracy and lots of coding needs to be done, coding for that to happen. But anyways, yeah, Seth, really important. He created Cross Tables. He then created Ulu, which is an app that you can use to have a clock, have a word judge, has a bunch of stuff for Scrabble tournaments. I think it's a free app. I think on is it on Apple products? I think it's on Apple products only. But anyways, yeah, great guy. Also played a lot, and lately he's actually been kicking my butt. At certain points, I didn't feel like he could ever beat me, but yeah, it's been happening. So we'll see what happens this game. I was first with this rack, and I opened with Fondue. I considered FEUED as well, but extra 2 points and decent leave of E over NO is probably worth it. So I played Fondue, and very quickly, Seth played Imbosom, or Imbosom, however you want to pronounce this word. It's a very nice word. He played for 83 points with a blank M. And I was like, okay, here we go. I draw into fiancés and fiances, and the only difference is placement-wise, which letters are better in which spot, and I'll let you try and figure that out if you are into those intricacies like I am. And that wasn't it. Seth responded with decreers for 76. And that wasn't it either. I responded with rounding, but not this one. Okay, I'm trying to remember which spot I played it in. Probably this one. Rounding for 70. Yeah, rounding for 70. So we saw a 6-letter word, then 4 7-letter words in a row. And the bingo portion of this game is over for now. QI comes down for Seth, and he's ahead by 47. And my rack is this, and I play parry through the R for 42. This seems like the right call. Maybe I should play Peary instead. I don't think I was 100% sure that Peary was valid. But in this position, I think they're pretty close. Normally, Peary would be better to keep two consonants in a vowel rather than the E and the U together with the T. But in this position, the E is pretty useful. And the extra consonant might become a problem if I draw too many consonants. So the plays are close. And another difference is that parry doesn't give back this small scoring spot, but that's not really much of a concern. Seth responds with wobs. And here to UTE, I drew a G, P, an R, and a T, I think. Is that right? No. E and a T. There we go. And I played Tegu for 20 points. I could also play Putty, play Epee, I didn't see that. Play Pug. There are actually a lot of options here. Tegu seemed to be most standard, keeping a decent balance, scoring small amount of points. But yeah, mostly the balance aspect, not giving back triple Seth. But I could honestly play Putty. It's possible that Seth has too many consonants, and this P will not help him. But I think Tegu's the play without an inference. So I do that, and Seth plays K, 32. So he continues to score, and I draw into this rack. I play Expire, seems like the call. And Seth starts to struggle in this position, burns a lot of time, and puts down Linden for 19 and then switches it over to the other side to play it for 16, which to me was a very bizarre decision. But in his own words, I think he didn't want to create the B column stuff as a bingo lane. Definitely not the path I would have chosen, but he had his reasons. Here I play Vat2. Either Linden that he played, I was going to play Vat2. Each way it played on whichever side of Linden he was going to give me. So not much of a difference for me. And then he draws the Z, plays off for 52. Now actually creating the B column stuff, but now he has a big lead, or 36-point lead, so definitely not the same story. And I draw decently. I draw the J, but the J just doesn't really have a good spot on this board. I could play Taj for 36, tie the game up, but that's leaving me sort of stranded without a bingo lane, and tying the score here, make no mistake, is an admission that I am in a worse position, because this huge spot on the end column is looming. Both H's are still there, still out. Seth could have an easy 50 points there. The expire hooks are looming. I have none of them. But I should still just play Taj. I don't know what I'm trying to justify. I might not have seen it. Not really sure. It's a very bizarre decision. But yeah, either way, I think I'm in a rough position, but I need to draw something. Problem is there's only an R and an S to hook on to expire. So I figured by keeping the better leave of LITE, I was trying a bingo sooner in this B column spot. And maybe by playing here, I don't know if I've ever considered this. This is just such a clear play to me right now. But yeah, huge mistake of Taj. Way bigger mistake than Linden could ever be. Yeah, weird miss. I assume I just didn't see it. I don't think I would have said no to 14 points. But I played jaw for 22. And Seth gets flax down. And now I definitely need to bingo to win, which was not the case last turn. So here I have this really ugly position, and I decide to play lariat to try and draw one of the H's and try and draw the blank. And yeah, I'm just scoring as much as I can and digging into the bag as much as possible because I'm definitely in a pretty desperate situation. So lariat comes down. Seth plays totem, 16. And I draw into this rack, and I just feel like I don't have a choice. I just have to play edger, eager for 38, leave 3 in the bag, and just hope that I can draw something, threaten something, and somehow potentially still win the game. Something like Régie is even more desperate, setting up huge scoring spots, basically saying I need to bingo. I need 100% to bingo here. I was very upset with the situation, getting rid of both my E's. It just seemed very unlikely that I'd ever be able to bingo here, and bingoing seemed to be the best path to victory, because although I was making the game close here, this huge spot is not going away, and I'd either need to draw something there and not get punished on the triples that it opens, or have him draw something there and it give me a bingo. So ego is the recommended play. That's incredible. The idea behind ego, of course, is to bingo a lot with the expirer hook and mime, and sometimes bingo after a play from N10. I don't buy it. I think this is better, but it just shows how desperate the situation is. And Seth plays ology here, making some really, really nice finds. Embosom, totem, it's not obvious to see, and ology, just some nice finds by Seth. And unfortunately, this is my situation. I drew both H's, but I didn't draw the blank. I did draw the S. And yeah, the only thing to hope for is actually I didn't even draw the S. I did draw the blank. But I didn't draw the S. So the only thing to hope for is that I somehow have enough to win. There's no way I can try and bingo next turn without Seth blocking me. So my choices are basically all in the end column. I either play HI, which just never works. I looked at a lot of different plays actually. So there are a few, I think a few 5-letter words. There's hitch and there's hoist. And it just didn't seem like anything would ever work. But hoist seemed to work if I drew the S, I think it was. Was it the S? Yeah, I think hoist, I calculated that hoist won if I drew the S, because I would get shiv for 30. That would outrun everything. Let's just look at that. Yeah, so there's no way to block shiv and outrun me, because I have other outs. I have his here for 24. Yeah, I remember the calculation now. So I played hoist because I was the only thing I saw that ever won the game. But I'd like to analyze this position a bit deeper if I can. but Hitch seemed to just always lose to any play on the O column. And yeah, like nothing else seemed to work. So I went with what I saw, and that is what I saw. So at least I gave myself a fighting chance here, but it was not to be. I drew the A, and I saw immediately that Seth had many wins, including just bingoing with Novelist. And he eventually found Novelist and won 493 to 438. Sorry, 505 to 438. Yeah, that's what my score sheet says too. And yeah, very tough loss. I made a really, really bad decision here with Jaw. Unless somehow, that had to be my leave. LITE was my leave. Taj is just too good to forgo. I don't know. I still don't know if I saw it. I mean, it's just too long after the game was played. And yeah, I feel like if I saw it, it's worse than if I didn't see it, because if I saw it and forwent it, that's just a lethal strategic flaw. And yeah, I can't be making those mistakes against the likes of the best Scrabble players in North America. So yeah, back in the gutter. I won a couple games. I won against Kenji, won against Jeff, won against Bradley Whitmarsh. So 3 games in a row I won, but yeah, it just shows that I could lose to anyone in this field with just one mistake at the very least. And yeah, that's the game. So down to 7-6, and my next game was against Scott Appel. I guess I won't spoil the result if I manage to find the game, but I'm gonna actually jump to game 15. So let's change the score and change it to 8-6. And very interestingly, don't think about what 8-6 entails, by the way. Very interestingly, at this point in the tournament, I had the exact same record, not just 8-6, but the exact same spread differential, points differential, as Jackson Smiley, who had just come back from winning the Word Cup that I participated in a couple weeks prior. So he was also doing pretty poorly in the tournament, also drawing pretty poorly if I trust his account of what was happening. But I wasn't playing him, luckily. Versus Seth Lipkin. This was 13. I was playing Jeff Fiszbein. And man, was this a stressful game. Oh my goodness. So I opened with a bingo, which was very nice. Endless. I decided to take 68 points for it. Where did I play it? Just did I play it here? No, I didn't. I think I considered playing it up here for 70, but I couldn't remember if there were any any hooks for endless. Sorry, my mind is just somewhere else. Let's see if I can. My video might be lagging a little bit, but let's see if I can do this for you guys. Pattern endless. Let's see if that shows up on my screen. 0 words found. Okay. So I couldn't remember. If I thought there was a hook, I probably would have played it for 70 just for fun. But I think I just chose this position of it. Let's just make sure of that. He plays just. I play this. Yeah, okay. So this is the position. I didn't really know what to do here. I could play Jig for 11 to keep Cadet, and often I might bingo through these floating letters. I could play Encaged and keep a T. That looks decent. Or I could play Gadid, try to prevent Jeff from scoring. There's also just like acting. There's just a bunch of like middling options here, none of which I particularly like. At the time, I chose Gadid just to try and reduce Jeff's ability to score and to get rid of the S hook on unjust, but there's no telling whether or not Jeff has an S. It's probably pretty unlikely because I already started with 2 of the 4 S's. But indeed, the details will show, I think. Yeah, the details will show that opponent next turn, Gadid is the most defensive play in the position. Opponent averages only 14% bingo and 30 in score, so it's pretty happy with that, I guess. But didn't stop Jeff from playing Merkist for 82 and taking a 25-point lead. And unfortunately, I have no more leaves from here on out. I just noticed this, but I think I have this. And I played Cowl. I don't remember if I had an S or not, but I played Cowl to tie the game up. I feel like I might have had an S, but maybe not. No, I didn't have an S when I played Cowl. And he hits again with another bingo, Elation, 68. And I'm so glad I don't have this whole game and I can go a bit faster. It'll just be a breeze. I play a medic. He plays him. Yeah, if I see something on my score sheet that gives me an indication of a leave, I will try and provide that for you guys. But here I played Wino for 29. Mr. Fiszbein plays Zeps for 40, takes care of the S hook, scores a lot of points. Now he's up 79 points, and I'm just in huge trouble. Play Uzo. I drew, I guess, some rough tiles between a medic and Wino. Jeff plays Brand for 22, trying to take care of the other S hook on the board. But the C is what I'm going for. Unfortunately, I don't think I drew into anything there. I play Ragtop. Oops, sorry about that. Someone texted me on the computer. So I play Ragtop for 31, and I'm down 57 points. And Jeff just plays BY for 18 points. Where does he do this? BY. I should turn off my desktop audio. I'm gonna be keeping on getting texts. I'm so not used to getting text from people. But yeah, he plays by. I think this is where he plays it. Oh yeah, this is the play that destroyed me. He plays by for 18, signaling to me that he has the last S and he is ready to block this C and give himself a huge play next turn. And I'm just like, well, shit, like I'm just dead here. What am I supposed to do? I'm down a bingo and he's about to score at least 40 points. This was horrible, completely horrible. But I had no choice really, I think, other than to just score as much as I can with Hex. And something incredible happened here. So Jeff cashes his setup, plays Novels for 48, and I somehow draw into this insanely lucky bingo of Inquired for 72, to almost tie the game up. And not only that, Jeff plays Feign. I turn over 6 of my 7 tiles, and I think it was AEGITV that I turned over. And I'm like, oh my god, there are 3 R's unseen to me. That's, if I'm going to draw 1 tile, it should be an R. And I turn it over, and boom, it's an R. And Vergate comes down. And I'm just like, how did this just happen? I'm ahead 22 points. But of course, I'm emptying the bag and drawing 6 tiles, so I felt I needed to draw the blank to give myself a chance, and I did not draw the blank. I drew EEFLOR, and I'm furious. I'm just like, I'm not winning this, am I? Like, he can just go out in 2 and win. He just plays something like Raya, and he goes out with IU blank, and he should be fine. And I start looking for outs that he has with IU blank, and I see that he has PU and Pox, and if I try to block that, I will just I'll just lose. What else did I see? I think I saw another out that he had with IU blank. Oh yeah, I saw they had Li 2. Okay. So before he even made his play, I was looking at what would be an obvious play that he would make. I'm just still like holding on to hope that I can somehow like steal this game. So I'm looking at Raya, and I'm like, okay, if he plays Raya, he has Li 2 and he has PU, that's game over. I'm gonna lose. It's low on time as well. Just trying to figure out how to win the game earlier. And I'm just like, yeah, what am I supposed to do against this? And indeed, Jeff does play Raya, but there's a play like, I guess Allery might be good enough to win without going out, potentially. But no, Raya is actually the best play. Rial and Yuria. Okay, the wins are very hard to see. Playing something like a Gyria, at least, or a Gyria or whatever, it guarantees that Jeff's going to go out next turn. He has a couple of spots for the U. He has UN. He has UN here and U here. That's just what I see off the top. But yeah, in positions like these, it's math, and it's like if you find a play that you know is going to go out in 2 and you know is going to be enough based on what my best play is next turn with my rack, you just make it. And Jeff took some time, and he was just considering the position. He plays Raya. I'm like, this is his play. Like that's it. This is game over. And unfortunately, I didn't even see that he had an even better outplay than the other 2 that I saw. He has Rutin from the R to the N, scoring 13 points. And so here I'm just like, all right, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to block Li 2 and hope he misses PU. But like, this is it. Like, the game's over. I have foes. Seems like an obvious play. I'll just make it and just hope for the best. And I play foe, and Jeff just starts like thinking, and I'm like, okay, he hasn't seen his outplays, but he's gonna find one. And then he keeps thinking, and he starts getting really low on the clock. And I think he just misses everything and plays, I think, IS for 13? No. He plays IS for 14 with Uzos. Right next to where he could play PU. And I'm just like, oh my god. And I go out with Real for 14. I was threatening to go out with Real, and I think I had another outplay. Not sure what it was. Yeah, Rule and Lure. Sorry. Yeah, this is an insane situation. I should be excited about this because I actually stole this game from Jeff, and I went out and I won. I don't actually remember if he went overtime or not, but I think he did. I think he went 10, 10 seconds over or something, and played is. And so after he went over, I was like, okay, like if he plays PU now, he still wins by 2. But I'm just hoping he just doesn't spot his outplay. But also, if he just plays Rutan, he wins. Um, and there's also another out here of Uni, which I still didn't see until now. Quackle tells me. So he had a bunch of outplays with UI blank, and for some reason, just I don't know. I was blessed by something. I don't know what to say. Like, just got insanely lucky here that he missed everything, and yeah, I went out, won the game. And I mean, this didn't feel, it felt good to win, but it felt really bad to know that I was lost, and didn't know why. Sort of the same reason with Seth last game, and a lot of the games that I'd played in these past 2 championships, just not understanding what I was doing wrong. And this is why I analyze games. Unfortunately, this game I have nothing to base my analysis on because the game was so stressful, and there's always at least one game per tournament that I failed to record my racks because something like happened that was very distracting, usually because it was a very tense game. I just forget to enter my racks afterwards. And yeah, insane game. It's possible that I've already looked over this game and that I have my racks because I would have looked it over after the game was fresh in my memory. So it's not all lost. It's possible that I can retrieve my racks at some point, but I didn't check prior to this video. And I'm just trying to pump all this content out before my Lake George tournament starts in around a weekend and a half or a week and a half. So yeah, hopefully some people are still watching and enjoying these videos. And yeah, this was round 13 and 15, and round 14 is to be potentially continued. I don't actually know. And I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.